I just arrived to my client's home and I'm surprised how much he's done. We did have an agreement that he will do a little bit of preparation just to make this a little bit more cost effective, and I don't mind. As long as my client does exactly what we scheduled to do, I'm actually super surprised. Just look at the quality of this work. The cable's already been fed to the both lamps. It's been decorated. Client was waiting for me. We've got two side lamps. This is the spur on the other side from the socket, and we've already pre-arranged the diagram of what and how this will work out. But look at the details. It's all been mastic, it's all been siliconed, grommets as well. Very good job. And the plan for today is to run an SWA cable. We're going to terminate this in here. That's going to carry on all the way around, and we'll have a first spike LED light to light up this first tree. That will be installed right there where you see this flower pot. Now, right here, lighting up this tree, it will look absolutely amazing at night. Then we will have a second one lighting up this tree. We will then extend the cable, and that will be lighting up this little, I think it may be a fruit tree, I might be wrong. So yeah, there will be, in total will be 3 lights, SWA cable plus 2 wall lights right there. It's going to be interesting. The weather is improving. It's 4 degrees now, so it's gonna get warmer. We're just getting ready the stuff. So what we have, wall plugs. We will use all-round banding to attach the cables to the fabric of the building. We also have Wago boxes, glands, whisker boxes, and this is the gel. So that stuff, we can basically make it up, and you will not worry that any water will have any ingress to these lights. SWA cable, that should be plenty. So that will help us to cut the cable. Battery. We also need an SDS, 6mm bit, and a small impact. Nice. So the first thing you would want to do if you start doing a job like this is to actually stretch the cable, making sure you've got more than you need. So this is more than I need, because I need to get with the first light to this tree. But what's important is, because it's still cold, is it 4 degrees or, my god, sorry, it's actually 3 degrees.
It's freezing in here, Mr. Bigglesworth.
So, stretch the SWA cable. It's not an easy cable to work with, not very flexible. When it's stretched, you want to get those kinks out. If you come and get the twist off the cable, that could help. Tiny little bit better. The client asked me if I could come with the cable in front of the trees, and I don't mind. So the plan would be to almost like come along the house, along the fence, then out in front of these 2 trees to the back of this garden. So we almost like we know there is no buried cables in here. So along the back of the fence and into that tree. I'm actually going to start terminate almost the cable from the end. So then I know exactly where I am in the position of my cable. Then I can just cut what I need at the house. So let's do that. Coffee. That's good. So I wanted to show you, this is the layout basically. The cable is coming from that end and it's leaving behind me, and that's the out for the load, for the light. It's a steel wire armor. On the end light, we didn't have to earth the armoring, because we need to make sure that it's being armored all the way through. There's a few ways of doing it. I would like to discuss all the options with you. With the gland, we have supplied banjo, and basically that goes under, and you have to put either inside or underneath. However, but you need to make sure that it is in there, it's in place, and it's kind of a bit difficult in this box. Another way of doing it is using one of those whisker design glanding that goes in here, exactly, because it's almost like profiled in, as you can see, for that bit there. So that goes in, you then screw your gland. This screw bites onto the actual metal armoring, the thread. If I do that, if I undo it, now I can screw back in. That's now through. That will bite onto that. We can crimp, just the earth lug. That's how we earth. This is designed for 2 of them, so everything will be really nice if I could put both cables at the same end. For this one, it's not going to work, so I need to decide how I'm going to terminate. Can I use still that terminations? It's just because how it's all being designed. Or maybe actually, still it's not cooperating. Or maybe yes. Actually, yeah, it will be possible. And I will need 4 of those.
A few moments later.
So that's how the box should look like when it's finished and terminated. 𝗟𝗶𝗴𝗵𝘁𝗶𝗄, glanded and earthed. I didn't have a 5-way Wago. I thought like, well, I'm not going to go to a shop. I just used one of those, making sure that when you terminate, you wiggle the cables. Just make sure that there's a good compression on the termination. 3-way Wagos. I actually flip them upside down because I want a gel to get in there. And here we are. Top head fits on nicely. We're not going to be filling with a gel just yet. Firstly, we'll test, making sure that we've got a beautiful testing, installation resistance and everything, and only at that point we're actually attempt to fill it in with the gel. Okay, move on to the next one. Now we've got the external box that needs to be positioned right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice and level. We've got that terminated. We also have those 2 lights on. The cable is loosely put on for the client, but I've actually clipped it to the wall so it cannot be pulled off the wall. I left it bent, so when it's buried, we account for that slack. So equally right here, it's still a bit stiff. That extra bend, it's just accounting for a cable to be buried in the ground. 1 light, all terminated, but not filled in with the gel yet. Second, on the 3rd one, we just need to put something instead of the gland. Maybe just block the gland and terminate, as that's not going to be live now. Well, it will be live, but it's not going to power any light. That's what I meant. We're now going to go inside and complete the wiring, but I'll need a few more things. So now's the time to work on the inside. Nice and warm and cozy. So first things first, that's the existing ring. These are our cables that will be switching the lights outside. It's a shame it's a bit short. We need that on this side. So this is not just on the back of the socket. So that's a bit too short. And we've got a USB socket. It's a 35mm box. I'm hoping that I'll be able to squeeze this in, as that portion is quite chunky. Usually on a normal socket, this isn't as big. The wiring for this needs to look like one of them is going to be a switch and the other one is just a supply that's going up there. So we've got everything in, socket in, switch is in. We also have a double pole switch up there ready. All is live. We can see we're going to do RCD testing and the client is absolutely amazing. He's actually contributing and helping me out. So I'll press test and now you'll be able to see what happens. It's trying to inject 15 millivolts and it's obviously not working, which is good. Over 2000 milliseconds. That's how long it waits. Now it trips 15 milliseconds times 1 and the client is just resetting the board, which is in the garage. So very, very conveniently, I will take the picture of this. So times 5, 15, 25 milliseconds and a ramp test, which is very important. 24 milliamps at 0 degrees of AC wave and 24. Perfect. This is for my records. So what we're now going to do is we just need to do ZS test from the furthest point. We need to reverse them and that one there. And now we got it right. Let's run the test. Nice. 0.79. And let's do that test again. I would expect a higher reading. Yeah, 1.02. Very nice. So what we've got to do now is mix this stuff. It actually is very simple. So for one whisker box, you're not the first one, but the second line. So we need to get there. And I believe this is half and half, 1 to 1. Yep. So the first one goes to the second line. There. Second one goes to the second line. There. Don't worry, that's not a problem. You can always mix more if you need it. Now, we have to mix for 15 seconds Yeah, and the lamp is still on, just as you can see. It's still shining, so let's just do it. Nice. I want to make sure that it's covering all of the connections. Okay. Okay, that one's not going to go anywhere. So let's reposition this as it's supposed to be. These two will set, and you are looking that way, baby, onto a tree. I can't wait to see this at night. It's going to look absolutely gorgeous. That one just needs the lamp. And look at these two trees. Can you imagine this at night? We'll be back here to do some other work, and at that point hopefully all of that will be buried, and we'll ask the client to send us some pictures from the work being completely full at night in a full glory of these lights. Nice. If you want to have your lights installed in the garden, like highlighting the beautiful trees that you have, and just make this a special place for your friends, your family, just give us a call and hit the button, subscribe and like. Thank you.